All right, let's talk about swimming. We're going to dive into an idea that could completely change how you feel in the water. I'm talking about moving away from that feeling of just pure exhaustion and instead tapping into technical skill to find a kind of effortless speed. You know the feeling, right? You jump in the pool, you're putting in the laps, but it feels like you're just fighting the water. You're getting more and more tired, but you're not actually getting any faster. It's this super common frustration, a plateau that so many of us hit. But what if the problem isn't how fit you are, but how you're thinking about swimming altogether? And right there, that's the heart of the issue. Terry Laughlin, who founded this revolutionary method called Total Immersion, he pointed out that for years, the advice was always just swim more, do more laps. But focusing on just the volume, the yardage, often just cements our bad habits. It makes us better at being tired, not better at swimming. So what's the alternative? Well, it's a completely different philosophy, one Laughlin called the fishlike approach. It's all about learning to work with the water instead of against it. It's about focusing on your balance and creating a streamlined body that can move almost effortlessly. And that, in a nutshell, is total immersion. It's a system built around, hydrodynamics, balance, and using your core. The whole goal isn't just to be fit enough to swim for a long time, but to be skilled enough to make it feel easy. It really is a total shift in thinking. Let's break this down a bit. The old way of thinking is all about endurance, just muscling through the water with your arms, fighting for every inch. The new mindset, it's all about efficiency. It's about creating this sleek, balanced position that just glides, and it's powered by your core. You could say one is a battle, the other's more like a dance. Okay, here's a number that might just blow your mind. The research behind this whole approach suggests that up to 70% of your performance in the water comes from minimizing drag, not from how much power you can generate. Let that sink in for a second. Being slippery in the water is more important than being strong. In this image, this is exactly what we're talking about. Look at that form. It's long, it's balanced, it's totally streamlined. That's what fishlike means. The body's almost perfectly horizontal, creating the smallest possible shape to cut through the water. That alone saves a huge amount of energy. So, if minimizing drag is the big secret, what are we all doing that's creating so much of it? Let's take a look at some of the most common energy-wasting mistakes that keep us from achieving that perfect fish-like form. First on the list, where you put your head. It's totally instinctive to lift your head up to get a breath, but doing that is like hitting the brakes. As soon as your head comes up, your hips and your legs sink down, creating all this drag. The fix is actually pretty simple, but it's so important. Keep your head in line with your spine, looking straight down at that black line on the bottom of the pool. All right, mistake number 2 is something a lot of people don't even realize they do. It's called crossing the center line. When your hand enters the water and sweeps across the middle of your body, it completely throws off your balance. You end up kind of swaying side to side, which is just wasting energy. You want to imagine you're swimming on 2 parallel train tracks. Your right arm stays on the right track and your left arm stays on the left. And finally, here's a big one, over-kicking. So many swimmers think that a really powerful kick is the key to speed, but honestly, it's mostly just a recipe for exhaustion. A big, frantic kick burns an incredible amount of oxygen and doesn't give you much propulsion in return. The key is a small, steady, rhythmic kick that comes from your hips, not from your knees. Okay, so we've pointed out the problems. Now, for the good part, the solutions. We're going to look at a couple of specific drills that are designed to fix these habits and help you build a much more efficient stroke. This is where we turn the theory into practice. The sidekick drill is a fantastic place to start. It actually forces you to find your balance and just get comfortable being on your side in the water. It directly tackles that high head position we talked about, and it teaches you to rotate your entire body for a breath, not just turn your neck. I'm telling you, this one drill can totally transform how stable you feel. I absolutely love this quote because it gets right to the heart of where real power comes from. Think about it. In baseball, in golf, and in swimming, that explosive power isn't generated in your arms. It comes from the rotation of your core. And this is so important to understand. Stop thinking of your arms as the engine. They're more like the propellers. The real engine is your torso, your hips, and your core. When your hips rotate, they generate a wave of force that travels up through your shoulders and is then delivered to the water by your hands. So how do you actually practice this? You start by changing how you measure a good swim. Instead of just trying to beat the clock, start counting your strokes per length. You can even try this little game called swimming golf. Just swim a lap, then add your time in seconds to your stroke count. So let's say 45 seconds plus 15 strokes gives you a score of 60. Your goal over time is to get that score lower and lower. That's proof your efficiency is going way up.
You see, all of this leads to a pretty fundamental shift in how we approach our time in the pool. It stops being about just mindlessly churning out laps and becomes about mindful, focused practice. Ultimately, we need to reclassify swimming in our own heads. It's not just a cardio workout like going for a run. It's a skills sport, a lot more like golf or tennis, where having a well-executed technique is so much more important than just raw endurance. Every single stroke you take is a chance to practice and refine that skill. So, I'll just leave you with this question. What if the next time you got in the water, your goal wasn't just to survive the workout? What if it was to feel a little more balanced, to glide a little bit further with every stroke, and to simply practice the skill of swimming? Because that, right there, is the real path to effortless speed.